We're live.
Okay, gotcha.
We're live.
Okay, gotcha.
Un momento. Oh, it took it off. Okay. It took off the manuals. Okay.
Got music in the background?
Yeah, you like that? Hold on.
Yeah, I see. Oh
Okay, I'm
man.
going to cut that off. Oh, it took off the manual, the other thing. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me just take it off. Okay, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace, peace, peace. Queen Dawn Spirit here, guys. Welcome to my channel. Sorry for the delay, but as you guys know, that this Mercury is in retrograde. So there's Mercury in retrograde. There's Saturn. I think was supposed to end on the 11th, but still, we still got some resonance from that. On top of that, Jupiter. So everything is supposed to go to direct on the 18th of this month, right? So welcome my phenomenal, beloved, amazing Queen Asmaa'a. I just love her. I love her teachings. I have purchased her products. I'm so blessed and honored to have you back on our YouTube channel. Welcome,
Thank
welcome,
you.
welcome, Queen.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really
Yes,
appreciate
yes. Let me tell you something, family. This queen is absolutely amazing. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is so talented. She makes she's going to tell you guys about her products, the immunity factor. It's immunity factor, right?
It's immunity, just immunity.
Or
There's
just
another
immunity
product
factor.
called
I don't know why
Factor.
I put factor in it, but okay, immunity. But I looked at all your products, but I purchased some for a couple of family members and so forth. And I take it religiously every day. I try to anyway. So thank you, thank you. And I told my family members and my conscious community members about it as well. So hey guys, also check out my YouTube, check out my website, which is queendawnspirit.com. My IG page is Queen Dawn Spirit. I'm going to be posting some new crystals and products on there, so stand by. I'm resuming in person and online Reiki master classes because, as you guys know, I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm also going to be a lot of new things is coming along. I'm going to be doing more past life regression. I'm going to be doing group past life regression sessions. I'm going to do future life regression sessions, as well as I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So Queen Dawn Spirit is going to be doing a monthly giveaway for whoever shares my YouTube channel and my social media accounts. And so that'll be how much you share it. That's how many times you will have your name entered into the hat to get a chance to get free classes or free Reiki sessions or free past life regression or future life regression. So stand by, guys. I will be doing that sweepstakes within another week or so. But let's get back to this phenomenal queen here. So Queen, introduce yourself to my community.
Hey everybody, peace. My name is Asmaa'a. I am the creator of the company Return to Pachamama. I am also the author of a vegan cookbook called the Vegigasm Cookbook. In addition to that, I am an early childhood teacher. I am a numerologist. I dive heavily into astrology, even though I'm not an astrologer. But I've been studying numerology and astrology and have an interest in it since I was about 15 years old, just studying it on my own, picking up books, anything that had to do with astrology, numerology. I've just been kind of like, oh, wow. I also create herbs. I'm also a medicine woman. I organize sacred medicine retreats as well as creating my own formulas to help heal the physical body. And the retreats are actually more so to help the spiritual health, the spiritual and the emotional health. So I'm not a one-trick pony.
I know that's right. Listen, in this world today, you have to have multiple streams of income. Not just that, but multiple things, because we are in a microwave world. So everybody wants everything instantly, like yesterday. So people, even though it's not right, people are texting and driving at the same time. People are texting and having dinner with people at the same time. People are doing, these devices are like attached to them. So people are multitasking. So why not multitask in your career?
Absolutely.
You know, and you're helping people. It's not out of greed. You know, you're spreading your knowledge and everything that you studied and learned and researched to get to where you are today. So I thank you, Queen, for this opportunity. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about your products. Let's talk about who you are. I'm going to share your this video with everyone. So I'm standing by. So go ahead and do what you do, Queen.
Awesome. So I have a plethora of products and I'm always creating. Even though I'm a woman army, I'm my only employee, but I create a whole lot of products. So I brought a few of my products to show you guys. This is a product that I make in the form of pill capsules called Healthy Hair Don't Care. And this is to enhance the health of your hair. It's also to help with hair growth. A lot of clients that I've had, even people who have had issues with hair growth or balding, have said that they started to grow hair taking this blend of herbs that I created and put together. I recently started making elixirs and syrups more so. So now I'm adding that. Oh yeah, I've added all of that to my website. I have a few products up there, but before the end of this month, all those products will be up there. So I have a secondary thing for hair growth, which is a hair growth elixir. It's for hair and for skin, to help clear the skin and to help grow the hair. So I'm actually using it on myself first, but it's going to be out pretty soon. I'm enjoying the results of it. I have pill capsules that I make. This one is colon cleanse. Oops, there we go.
All right.
And it's to help cleanse the colon. A lot of people suffer from having a lot of backed up things in their colon. I've even worked with small children who have had to go to the emergency room because their colon was so backed up and they had severe constipation. And so this product in particular, this one in particular is not for children, but it helps to clear out a lot of the gunk and the things and the toxins that we put into our colon. So every one of my products comes with something, a list of what I call dietary suggestions, which are do's and don'ts to help enhance the effect of the formulas that I'm creating.
Wow. Okay.
This is a formula that I make called H Factor. It helps to alleviate symptoms of herpes simplex 1 and 2. Clients who have used it reported that if they've had an outbreak and they use the formula, the outbreak will clear within a matter of a few days.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I put some strong herbs in there. And of course, I try to put strong herbs and herbs that I research, that I look into and also, whether someone is pregnant or not, I always put for them for certain formulas to let me know ahead of time so I can
Okay.
customize, because I also customize formulas for whatever a
Mm-hmm.
person's health needs are. And if there's something
Right.
that I don't know how to create, I will refer to an herbalist that's way more seasoned that I know can handle that specific ailment.
Okay.
Um, but I customize, I do health consultations. I'm currently working with a baby that has sickle cell right now. And the baby so far has been doing very well. I
Okay.
created a formula recently called sickle syrup.
Okay.
And so this is safe for people ages 2 and up. This is to help with
Wow.
the symptoms and alleviate a lot of the things that happen with sickle cell anemia. Um,
Wow.
yeah, always creative. My
Okay.
mind is always thinking and moving and like, oh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can put this together. I also have iron syrup. I
Yeah,
have
you
a,
gave me that.
yes.
I would tell you about that. I would tell you about that, Queen. So I'm an anemic,
Hmm.
and I have been an anemic for many years,
Hmm.
and to the point years ago that when I was an anemic, I had to, and I love the fact that you spirit told you to give me that iron, because I actually had to have a blood transfusion years ago, because that's how bad of an anemic I was. And what's crazy is that the area that I'm originally from, a lot of the females there are anemic.
Wow.
So the serve gave me quite a bit of energy,
Hmm.
and another sign of being an anemic is when you want to chew ice all the time,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I used to be that ice chewer, but
Hmm.
that iron, it didn't bind me.
Mm.
Your iron syrup didn't bind me, because iron can bind you, can
Yeah, too much
constipate
iron.
you.
Yeah.
And it was just so natural. So I thank you for gifting me that when I purchased the immunity from you.
No problem. There's a couple of clients who my spirit was saying, give them the iron formula, give them the iron formula. So I
Mm-hmm,
gave it to a
mm-hmm.
couple of people, and everyone has been reporting that it's been giving them energy. I even have someone who I gave it to who's actually pregnant, and it helped them
Mm-hmm.
with their energy and with their iron.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I have a big formula and I have a smaller one. And
Okay.
this is also safe for children 2 and up. So I'm starting to branch out and make some products for children. I actually recently started making something for men, for male strength and stamina. So
All right. Okay.
I call it the male gorilla formula, but not
Okay. The
gorilla like
male gorilla. Okay.
it's male gorilla strength, but it's not
Elaborate. I'm in. I'm listening.
but it's
I'm
not
listening,
gorilla like
Queen.
the animal. It's gorilla like a warrior. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know. I know
that's an
what you mean.
elixir that I recently started putting together because I'm really having fun making these elixirs. Um,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so I'm just been experimenting all the way around. The immunity formula that you've mentioned, that's something that I gave my family. I created it really for myself and for my mom, when all of the things that are happening right now started going down. I was like, how
Mm-hmm.
do we maintain our health, or how do we boost our immunity? And
Mm-hmm.
I started looking into different herbs that can help. And all herbs, of course, don't go together. So that's a whole nother thing when you're putting herbs together. You have to make sure they go together. You have to make
Right.
sure some of them can be taken long term, some of them can't be taken
Right.
long term. Like golden seal, which is a wonderful herb, but you can't take it long term. Like black seed oil, you can't take it long term, but it's good for a period of time. So that's what the immunity formula is about. And
Mm-hmm.
since I've been giving the immunity formula to my mom, who is a healthcare professional,
Mm-hmm.
since I've been taking it, since a few people that I've sent it to have been taking
Right.
it, none of us have been positive. So
Wow. I
yeah.
apologize, Queen. Someone said they're having problems with getting online. I just sent you
Oh,
the link. The link, she said the link wasn't on the flyer. So somebody said the link wasn't on the flyer. People are having problems with getting on. So
oh
I just
no.
sent you the link if you want to take a break real quick and send it to everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm gonna post it in a group too. I also posted it on my social media too.
Yes. I posted it on my social media as well. I'm gonna post it
The link.
again. No, not the link. I
Okay, I
posted the
just sent you the
flyers. I'm
link.
gonna put the link now.
Yeah, I just sent you the link. I apologize.
It's
Um,
okay.
but if whoever is not able to get in right now, this video will be shared. So it'll be on YouTube in the YouTube community forever. I won't take it down. But I did posted on my Facebook account.
Yeah.
But
Also, with my consultations aren't typical, or what people may consider typical medical or health consultations. I look at, I try to take a more holistic approach with all of my clientele who do consultation.
okay.
So I don't only look into just the ailment. I look into the ailment, I look into the diet, I look into the birthday, the numbers and the sign, and how certain things may affect the person, as well as their blood type. Even though I am plant-based, I am vegan, everyone is not meant to be a vegan. Right. Despite what you may hear a lot of vegans say, it is not necessarily for everyone. It's not the best for everyone. And so how do you help people who have different lifestyles? How do you help people who have different styles of eating, who come from different cultures? One thing that I see that I find challenging is I try to exercise a level of compassion with people. One thing that I find challenging is you'll hear a lot of people who are into natural health say to people, oh, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, don't eat that, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, but they never give an alternative. Okay. So you can't go to someone who, for example, is Chinese and say don't eat rice. Rice is bad for you. That's a staple in their culture. You can't just tell them don't eat rice and not give them an alternative. Okay. You can't tell a Hispanic person don't eat rice and beans. That's a staple in their culture. You know what I mean? You have to give them some type of alternative. In the West Indian,
in the West Indian,
and West Indian too as well. So I'm big on trying to find alternatives that will be close, if not the same, or a good substitute. And that's also part of my reasoning, a portion of the reasoning of me creating my cookbook. This is my first one. I'm going to make a series. This cookbook is available on Amazon.com. Bookbaby.com is also where it's available. And I believe it's on Barnes and Noble's online still. But I get the most royalties from BookBaby. So if you guys go to purchase from BookBaby, it's greatly appreciated. But anywhere you purchase is greatly appreciated.
Make sure that you send me, make sure you, so I don't forget that you send me all those links. So I'll post it in the description for you, Queen.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I got to send you all those links. There's some other things. I make a formula that helps with keeping blood sugar down as well, called the sugar. And that's to help. It's a combination of different herbs. I don't just dabble with herbs specifically from North America. I kind of dabble with herbs everywhere, or whatever my spirit feels drawn to. So in Mexico, for example, the nopal cactus has been used for generations to get rid of diabetes. And the nopal cactus is, when it's in season, it's actually, I believe, in season now. But it tastes a little sweet, small little cactus, and it actually lowers the blood sugar, but you have to balance it well because it can lower the blood sugar too low. So you don't want to go too high to too low. But nopal cactus is one of the ingredients that I use in this sugar formula, as well as bilberry, which Dr. Africa spoke very highly about, which also helps repair the nerve and which helps with blood sugar. Bilberry in particular, the nerves are very important with something specifically like diabetes, because a lot of diabetics develop over time diabetic nerve pain. It starts to affect the nerves. It starts to, because there's an issue going on with the pancreas and how it's secreting the insulin. So it eventually deteriorates the eyesight. A lot of things that happen with it. So I made an alternative that people can use consistently. And they can actually use that with their medicine. The people who I've worked with who've used it with their medicine haven't had any issues with it conflicting with their medicine.
Okay.
So if they feel
Awesome.
comfortable still using the doctor's medicine, they can use the herbs too
Mhm.
until they
Right.
are able to wean off and eventually eradicate the diabetes, type 2
Okay.
especially. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good for both type 1 and type 2, but type 1 is a lot more tricky. Um, type 2 is more easy to cure. Most of the people that develop type 2 diabetes tend to develop it for obesity and different things like that, and dietary, the way that they eat, to
Mhm.
starches and things like that. It really doesn't come from sugar. Sugar just kind of irritates from
Right.
what I've,
Right. Yeah,
but in
sugar is
addition
the
to,
number. I
uh,
heard that sugar was the number one addiction.
yes, it's actually, I learned many years ago from Queen of Forward that it was two molecules from cocaine.
Wow, I
So
believe it. And they put
yeah,
sugar in everything. They
they
put sugar
do.
in everything too. I noticed in restaurants, that's why I'm going to stop. Well, I don't eat out a lot. Well, my husband and I eat out quite a bit. He takes me out to dinner at least once a week, but I've got to be more selective in the condiments that I
Mm,
choose when I do
yeah.
eat, because I ordered the other day, I ordered some fish, and in the tartar sauce, it tastes like pure sugar.
Oh,
You know, like I was like, I never tasted tartar sauce that had was that sweet, but people are, because they know that's a craving of ours. They know that's an
uh-huh.
addiction. They put this sugar in all these products, and
Yeah.
that's the first time I ever tasted tartar sauce that was that sweet,
Wow.
because they
They
put
put
just that
tartars,
much sugar.
they put sugar, MSG, all kind of stuff in the food that they know become addictive to people, and then you keep craving it and you keep wanting to eat it. And then you're like, how did I get this? Like I run into a lot of diabetics who don't eat sweets, and they're like, how is my sugar always high?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times that's the starches. It's also the places that they sneak
Mm-hmm.
the sweets in. I've literally seen things say diabetic friendly or sugar free, and find that it's listed that there's sugar in it. So I'm kind of
Wow.
like, how is this sugar free? And there's sugar in it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting because they have different terms that they use to
Okay.
cover up the fact that it's sugar. They may say
Mm.
sucralose, glucose, all these weird terms, and
Mm-hmm.
really all it is really sugar. And then when you think of starches, when you're eating simple carbohydrates, the way it breaks down in the body, it breaks down into sugar.
Mm.
So you may not be eating candy or sweets, but if you're eating a whole lot of starches, specifically white starches, it's going to process as sugar in the body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And eating
Mm-hmm.
alone will automatically raise the blood sugar level of the average person, whether you're diabetic
Right.
or not. So a
Mm-hmm.
person who's diabetic, who's insulin resistant, it takes it from raising the level, it's going to raise it even higher, and it's going to take a longer time to come back down. So
Wow.
it's really tricky. They really, I mean, I've literally, they put things in things that don't need junk in there. Like I
Mm-hmm.
used to always love barbecue chips. I still kind of love barbecue chips once in a while.
Barbecue
And
chips is a crave. Chips, period. Chips is like my guilty pleasure. So
I have my
yeah,
moments when I really, really just crave chips for a little bit, and then I'll have to
and
stop.
hot chips too. We're not supposed to eat that stuff.
Man, it's
We're
crazy.
not supposed to eat that stuff, Queen. That stuff is poison to our system. But yeah,
It
potato
is.
chips is our guilty pleasure.
But see, that's why they put those addictive things in there. You know what I mean? To keep us eating it and to make it harder to get off of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've literally seen barbecue chips where when I first got into eating more healthier, I started looking at the back of labels more than I ever did in life.
Yeah, read your labels.
And I picked up a barbecue chip bag and it said it had
Mm-hmm.
milk in it. And I'm like, why would they
It
put
had
milk
milk in it.
in barbecue chips? Right.
Really? Wow.
And I've always been highly allergic to dairy, highly, my whole entire life.
Really? I
Before I was
can't drink
vegan,
milk.
after, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't do any of it.
Yeah. Another guilty pleasure is sour cream and cheese and
Ah,
eggs, but I cannot eat a regular ice cream cone. I can't eat I've never liked milk. I've never ever
Uh-huh.
liked it. And they said we
Yeah.
shouldn't be drinking it because it's made for it's made milk is for a calf, a baby calf. You
Right.
know, but child, if I drink a glass of milk, I'm clearing the whole city. Because my test is like, what are you doing? So okay.
It's a lot of people unfortunately get the cancer, I find, from the dairy. Because it
Mm,
comes from a cow, it has whatever is nutritious to a baby cow to help a baby cow grow from a baby to a big cow.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm,
when people drink it, there's certain additives in it that they
mm-hmm.
also add to the milk that we typically see that
Okay.
also unfortunately supports the growth of tumors,
Mm,
the overgrowth of certain cells and different things like that. So a lot of times the dairy, if people take the dairy out of their diet,
mm-hmm,
sometimes they'll see a dramatic difference and change in their health overall, just with dairy alone.
mm-hmm,
For
mm-hmm.
me, I've always been highly allergic and I never got the typical like bubble guts from dairy. I would
Mm-hmm.
get sinus infections severely.
Wow.
I will spit blood. Blood
Really?
will come out of my nose. Yes, from dairy. I've always been highly allergic. And when you're younger, you try to sneak and eat it.
And
And
your body said, no, you're not supposed to have that in your system.
not at all.
You're not supposed.
Not at all.
I'm gonna tell you something. One thing my family loves is my macaroni and cheese.
Ah,
So I want to ask you if you have a macaroni and cheese recipe in your cookbook because macaroni and cheese, my family lives from a macaroni and cheese every holiday. And I love macaroni and cheese, but I had some macaroni and cheese at Chocolate Yoga Destinations retreat a couple of weeks ago. It was absolutely amazing. It was a couple of phenomenal vegan chefs there. And
ooh.
one of them made this macaroni and cheese queen. This vegan macaroni and cheese was off the Richter scale. So do you have that
Yeah.
recipe in your book, in your cookbook?
I make macaroni and cheese different every single time I make it. So,
Really?
but I have two mac and cheese recipes in my book. I
Okay.
have one
Okay.
where I use like the little store-bought vegan cheese, the soy-free one. And then I
Uh-huh.
have another one where I use um, sweet potatoes to make the
Okay,
cheese.
because Thanksgiving is coming, so people
Yeah,
want to eat healthier, and we're gonna have
absolutely.
Thanksgiving with
And speaking
with our daughter.
and speaking of Thanksgiving, I am creating some holiday packages on my website
Okay.
just for fun. So I'm gonna have like assorted vegan cookies in some of the packages.
All right
I'm gonna
now.
have I make some cake loaves, some vegan cake loaves that are really delicious. Different
Okay.
flavors. I've been experimenting with that. I've been teaching myself how to bake because baking used to not be my strong point, but it was funny because I participated in my first festival recently, a few months ago, and
Well,
it was
let me stop you real quick before I forget, Queen, because
sure.
sometimes my short-term memory. Tell them your website and how to
Yes,
reach you real quick. Let's do
it's
that before you continue on about these phenomenal gifts that you were willing to share with the world. So tell them your
thank
website and how to
you.
reach you and your email address.
www.return the number 2 Pachamama, which is PACHMAMA herbs.com. Return to
Can you
Pachamama
put
herbs.
that actually, excuse me, can you actually put that where your name is, your website?
Oh, let me see if I can. I
I
might
think you
be able
can.
to.
You can rename that. I believe you can.
Oh,
If not,
yeah,
guys, if you don't
I
see it, I can
found
do it
it.
in the description. Yes. Yes. Put your website so people can see how to reach you. Because
Yeah,
sharing is caring.
absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of
Yes,
people have
Queen.
actually been asking me to cater. And I would love to cater to some extent, but it's a little challenging because it's just me. But I recently
Mm-hmm.
did an event in the Bronx where I was the food vendor, and the people really loved the food. They went to my Instagram and they were
Mm-hmm.
posting pictures and videos of the food, and it was like, "This is good." I made
I'm gonna have you at a couple of retreats too.
oh yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have you at a couple of retreats that we're gonna do. So be
I'll be
prepared.
honored. I would love to cook the
Get your
food.
passport together, Queen.
My
And we're gonna
passport
do
is together.
some
I made sure. I got it up to
Okay.
date. Good.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So continue on because I don't want to interrupt you because I want you to go back to the products again for people that may have missed it at the beginning, or products that you make to help with, STDs, um,
Mhm.
diabetes. You did elaborate on diabetes, hypertension,
Uh-huh.
people that may have gotten that seed thing. I don't want to say the word because I don't want my channel to
Yeah.
be flagged for mentioning that virus,
Mhm.
and the jab and so forth. So continue on and make sure that we recap and go back over that information too for people that just came on,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Um, well, in terms of food, I consider my style of food kind of unique because a lot of times when I cook for people, I like to pour a certain level of love into my food. And I actually, when I'm cooking for people who I know, I
Mm-hmm.
actually put herbs and infuse herbs also within the food. So they don't even
Okay.
taste it, but they're getting that nutritional value.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some recipes in my book where you'll see me put some dandelion root in there and different things
Okay.
like that. And dandelion root is a blood cleanser. Dr. Sabi highly recommended dandelion root. It's good for clearing of skin. It's good for cleansing of the liver. It's good for so many things, and it's also a diuretic naturally.
Okay.
And it's high in iron as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have iron deficiency,
Mm-hmm.
especially now since all of this has gone down. I've noticed a lot of people. I've noticed some changes in people's health, and even people who have been giving birth. What's been going on with their babies? It's very interesting to me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, in addition to all of that, I make a seasoning. It's an all-purpose moringa infused seasoning.
Okay, hold on one second. You
Mhm.
said something about birthing. So, and I want to go definitely back to the seasoning because I'm all about seasonings.
Yes.
Um, Women that are breastfeeding, is your product safe for women that breastfeed?
It
Because like when
depends on the
I breastfed
specific
all
product.
three of my children, so I knew I
Mhm.
couldn't eat onions, certain things I couldn't eat when I was breastfeeding, no alcohol, no onions, and certain things. So
Right.
is it safe for women that breastfeed?
It depends on which product it is.
Okay.
Usually on my website, I'll say
Mm-hmm.
if you have a such and such allergy or if you are pregnant, please let me know in the description because I try to be as safe as possible. If it's something that is not safe for breastfeeding, I will have something or some type of disclaimer on there to let people know, hey, let me know so I can modify the product specifically for you and your needs.
Awesome.
Um,
Okay.
the iron building formula, though, is safe for breastfeeding,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and for pregnant women and for children too, all the way up to adulthood.
Amazing. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. And now you could elaborate back on your seasonings, Queen, because I
Yeah.
season my food. I love my, that's part of the love. I want my food to taste. I want my taste buds to go crazy and really enjoy it. So tell us about your seasonings.
Yes. So I have my all-purpose veggie-gasmic, and after my book, The Veggie-Gasm Cookbook,
Mm-hmm.
veggie-gasmic all-purpose moringa infused seasoning. It has the herb moringa in it with different herbs and spices that I put together. Now I
Okay.
have a lot of family. Most of my family is not vegan, immediate, extended, but some of them have gotten my seasoning and have put it
Mm-hmm.
on fish, put it on chicken, and they're like, "Oh, this is amazing! This is amazing! This
Okay.
tastes good." Now,
Yeah.
one person in particular was recently telling me they used this seasoning to thicken a soup and a stew. And they
Okay.
said it worked better than because they didn't want to use any flour. And they said
Mm-hmm.
something about the seasoning, the way that I made it, thickened
Mm-hmm.
the stew and thickened the soup. So it gave
Okay.
it a certain flavor and texture to it that they love. They've been going crazy about it.
All
Um,
right.
so
Okay.
yeah, I put a lot of good stuff in there and spices so that it's
Mm-hmm.
pleasing to the taste buds. The moringa is in there because moringa is considered a superfood by many people. The
Okay.
moringa that I use is I get it from Egypt in particular,
Mm-hmm.
and the moringa helps many, 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 many health ailments and
So
overall
your
health.
herbs are international. You have a
Yeah,
lot of international herbs. That's
some are
amazing.
international, some are here, some are right here, right in North
Okay.
America. I'm in New York. Some grow wild in New York.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
I'm learning. I'm learning. Yes.
thank you.
So the
And
one for the, I'm sorry, go ahead. I
mhm.
don't want to cut you off.
No,
I
it's okay.
apologize.
It's okay. It's okay.
So you mentioned something about one, um, okay, so you mentioned the one for diabetes. You mentioned
Hmm.
the iron for adults and children. You
Hmm.
mentioned, did you mention one about hypertension? You mentioned
No,
one
but
about,
I do have a formula for hypertension as
okay, so
well.
let's talk about that.
And I'm going to work on an elixir for it too. Because some
Okay.
people, I started out making capsules because we're in like, in my opinion, we're in like a pill popping society. So people are like, people won't take herbs, but they'll pop a pill. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, this is a way that you can get those herbs inside of your system
Mm-hmm.
working and
Mm-hmm.
just pop it like you would pop a pill.
Right.
But some people don't like pills. Some people would rather take stuff internally,
Mm-hmm.
syrups and elixirs. So I started recently brewing up syrups and elixirs. So I have my iron building syrup. I have my sickle syrup, which helps
Okay.
alleviate symptoms of sickle cell anemia.
All right.
I'm currently working with a baby with sickle cell right now
Mm-hmm.
who is taking that formula. I also make
Oh.
gummies,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, iron gummies, elderberry. You know, a lot of people make elderberry gummies, but I don't use any sugar in my gummies at all.
Okay, good.
Um, yeah, no sugar. I have stuff to sweeten it, but not sugar.
Okay.
Um, I made some iron. I made some watermelon flavored ones like a few
Okay.
months ago. So I just been experimenting with that. I also make started to make pastries. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like an oatmeal cookie that's prepackaged
I
that
love
I sell
oatmeal cookies.
sometimes.
Uh-huh.
It's oatmeal and currants. And I customize. So if a person is purchasing a product and in the little description area they put, hey, you know, can I have this without this? Or can you make this diabetic friendly? Or can you make this gluten free? All they have to
You
do
can
is put that there
customize.
and yeah, just let me know and I'll customize it.
Okay, so I have a question, Queen. So
Yes.
Beverly said that your macaroni and cheese is off the chain. So I just want to correct you. But I had this question. And
Thank
anyone,
you,
guys, if you have a
Beverly.
question, please post it down. Even if we don't answer it during the live, we can answer it later on because I have YouTube Studio. So please feel free to put
Mhm.
your questions down below. Um, oh man, I had this question that was important too. I can't remember. Oh. That's the challenges and trials of being 58. Hold on a second. Um, Tag, and it was important too. Keep talking, Queen, because it was something I wanted to ask you about that was important.
Problem, just let me know. In
Okay.
addition to all of the products that I make, so I also started selling these. This is an
Water bottles.
yes, but this is not a regular water bottle.
Okay.
So I recently got with a company. This is an alkaline
Okay.
filter inside of a portable water bottle. So it raises the
Yes.
pH balance and takes out some of the chemicals in water. So you can take any kind of water from the store and put it in here.
Hmm. Not
And
tap
let me
water,
show
but
you
bottled
guys.
water.
And it filters it immediately.
Okay, so not tap water, but bottled water.
You can put tap water, you can put anything in this, and
Okay.
it's going to raise the pH balance. There on my one of my YouTubes, I did an experiment with the tap water in my home and with
Hmm.
this, and then I tested the pH balances, and you saw the pH balance raise. So it changes the pH balance, raises the pH balance immediately, and it also filters out a lot of toxins. I have this, and I
Okay.
have also pictures that I sell
Okay.
now on the website. So I'm trying to
Yes.
bring the food, the herbs, and the water.
Okay. So what's your YouTube channel, Queen? Because I want to make sure everyone taps into your YouTube channel.
So I have I have a YouTube channel for different things that I do. So
Okay.
my YouTube channel that deals with my metaphysics, that deals with the numerology, where I go into some stuff with elements in the astrology. That one is called Return, the number 2, Pachamama, just like my website, adult education.
Okay.
And then I have one where I do recipes and I cook. I'm working on getting the right kind of cameras. That's why I haven't put any videos up recently, but I
Mm-hmm.
will. That one is
Mm-hmm.
called the Veggiegasm Cooking Channel.
Okay.
I have one where I'm just being petty and silly and having fun and talking about celebrity gossip. That one is
Uh-huh.
called Ms. M-I-Z-Z, Petty Truths, a Petty Playground.
All right.
So
Okay.
those
Okay,
are my
Queen.
three
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah, I
Um,
have I have Instagram as well.
mhm.
So you guys can follow me on Instagram if you have Instagram. I have well, you can see some of my foods that I make on
Mhm.
what is it called? Veggiegasm.
Okay.
Veggiegasm Cooking. That's one of my Instagrams. That's the one where you'll see me post more food pictures of different creative dishes that I make. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the one that deals more with herbs and metaphysics is called Return to Pachamama. That's
Okay.
and a lot of people are like, what is Pachamama? What is that? Well, Pachamama is an ancient word for the spirit of Mother Nature. It was used
All
by
right.
certain ancient cultures, um, the ancient Incans, I believe, and as well as the people of the Amazon,
Okay.
indigenous people from there used Pachamama. But same thing, many different names. Pachamama is a name that just really stuck with me. So
I love it.
thank
I had
you. Thank you.
Coach Noni says, do you have any products that help with weight loss?
Yes, the colon one does. And I
The
can also
colon one is good for
customize
weight
if they
loss.
have certain bodily needs. So say for example, if it's a product, if they want something for weight loss, but they've had gastric bypass, I wouldn't suggest the colon one because it's very strong and it's going to
Okay.
flush you. So I would make something a lot more gentle to help with that.
So you could
Every product,
customize something for weight loss.
yeah, but the
Okay.
colon one automatically is going to help with that. Every
Mm-hmm.
product that I make, whether I customize or not, comes with something that I call dietary suggestions, which is
Okay.
a list of things because I'm looking specifically into the ailment itself. What are some
Mm-hmm.
of the best things? What are some of the things that they shouldn't combine? What are the things they
Okay.
should eat, shouldn't eat? What should they increase? Increasing your intake of raw fruits, raw vegetables alone will make drastic changes with weight loss, will make drastic
Mm-hmm.
changes with any kind of health condition. Even
Mm-hmm.
what's going on right now, that
Mm-hmm.
is that's a natural way that you can help your own immunity because we all have a quote unquote immune system naturally.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually
Yeah.
need to have a piece of a ailment given to you to develop antibodies. Your body, when it comes into contact, naturally develops antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Yeah.
something that the body naturally is going to do. And you want to create a space that's conducive in your body for those antibodies to be created and protect you.
Okay.
So one thing that I personally do, but I wouldn't suggest doing this if you don't really know how to do it, is sometimes I go outside and I try different plants. I'm
Okay.
self microdosing. Small piece of different plants, chew it, then spit it out. I learned this from an herbalist named Dan. Chew the herb because depending on the taste, the human tongue experiences 6 flavors. You got
Mm-hmm.
pungent, you got spicy, you got salty, you got sweet. There's a whole bunch of flavors that we experience. There's 6. And depending on how what we taste from that herb tells you what body system it helps with.
Okay.
So
So
for
it teaches the
example, if
body
you
how to heal itself.
yeah, and you're exposing yourself to that herb. So in a sense, you're kind of microdosing and creating your own antibodies naturally.
Coach Noni
So for
said, thank
example,
you.
no
Oh,
problem, no problem.
yeah.
For example, if you happen to pick like a piece of a leaf or something and you chew it and it tastes spicy, a lot of times spicy foods help the mouth to create more salivation.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy foods also help you use the bathroom. It helps to clear the colon. So
Mm-hmm.
in if there's a
Hold on.
time of need,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. It's the doggy
I'm
being
sorry.
a dog. That's all
Michael,
right.
I think my husband's at the door. Excuse me 1 second.
No problem.
Continue talking.
Okay. With something like just chewing that herb, you know that that herb or that plant in particular can help you if you're having an issue with something like constipation. It's part of learning a lot of the herbs that's around us. How do we use the herbs and things that are around us? Because realistically, what if they stopped allowing us to get things from overseas? We have to learn, and I'm still learning. We have to learn about the herbs that are around us. Everywhere is abundant in herbs, and there's herbs for damn near everything. Even America, we think that herbs aren't in America. They're the indigenous people. My ancestors, they use the herbs in America, the herbs that are here, the chickweed, the cleavers, these things grow naturally here. So there's herbs literally everywhere. We just have to learn how to use the herbs that are around us.
I knew what I wanted to ask you. Yes. So, I have indulged in plant medicine. I think plant medicine is the bomb.com.
Yes, I love it.
For the states, yes. So for the states that it is legal and that is fine, is not a challenge with, because plant medicine is natural.
Right.
Do you customize items with plant medicine in it for the states that is legal in? Can you?
I could.
Okay,
but I don't do that at this time.
Okay.
But in the future, I have a plan kind of on how to make a way so that I can do that within the guidelines of the state and what's legal.
Right.
The interesting thing about the plant psychedelic medicines they are categorized. Some of them are categorized in the same category as something like heroin. And it's very much not heroin. Plant medicines, to me, drugs are an imitation of what plant medicine is. It's a lower.
Please elaborate on that, Queen. That plant medicine industry is trigonometry to them. So please educate my community what plant medicine is really all about.
Yes. So you have lots of plant medicines that were used by people from ancient times, people from different parts of the world, all over the world, that help to elevate them spiritually, emotionally, and help them get through things and reconnect with their DNA and their ancestry. Plant medicine in many states in the United States is classified as a drug. And a lot of us are sold on the idea that they're drugs, right? Oh no, the mushrooms, oh no, those are drugs. Because we have a warped perception on really what it is. Even if you were to go to Africa, they've had plant medicines like iboga. If you were to go to the indigenous people of Peru or South America, they've had things like ayahuasca. They've had things like San Pedro. There's the peyote in Mexico. It's been all around the world. And these things are used to help you tap inward spiritually in ways that would be harder for you to do. We're in a time where it's so many distractions, and it's hard for a lot of people to find themselves and tap into their inner truth, who they are, what they're here for, their purpose. And the plant medicines help bring people to these things. However, because there's these blockages from it being seen as a quote unquote drug, a lot of people are afraid of these things. What baffles me personally is I know people that'll sniff cocaine, but won't try plant medicine.
Won't mess with no plant medicine.
I find that so weird, because I'm like,
cocaine is the most toxic, one of the most toxic drugs you can.
Right. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, all the drugs came from, and everything that we see that's GMO or that's not natural came from a natural source. It's an imitation of the original natural source. But where they process it and they turn it to some sort of a concentrate, that's when it becomes harmful to the body. And with plant medicine, you have a lot of people who go, oh, I know somebody who took it and it bugged them out, because they did not do it properly. They did not do it under proper supervision and guidance.
They were just getting high.
Exactly. And when you treat those ancient medicines are so wise, the energy behind them, they know if you're going to chase a high, I've sat in ceremony with people who were chasing a high and it did not give any kind of high because they were chasing a high.
Right. Right.
Or, it's
you have
like
to have an intention.
Right. You definitely, I believe personally that an intention is always necessary. And you have people that talk about marijuana use, right? I mean, marijuana use, everybody's not afraid to use marijuana though. Marijuana is popular. But there's so
child,
many.
we have about 4 dispensaries within a mile radius of where we live at. I'm like, where these places come from? 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
I
within a mile radius.
I believe it. Because marijuana is more widely accepted on a larger scale. But that plant has so many healing properties other than smoking it. To me personally, and I'm not
should smoke it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a time, and I don't smoke marijuana for the record, but I think there's a time when it may be okay to smoke it. Me personally, this is my own personal opinion. It's not any judgment on anyone who does,
right?
Because I feel like everybody's on their own path. It's their business. I'm not the food police. I ain't the herb police. You live your life. But for me personally, I find it disrespectful to the plant. When people just
I heard that you should
smoke it and smoke it and smoke it.
Yeah, some people say everybody have their own beliefs, and I'm not like downgrading or judging, like you said, but I did hear that you should, if you're gonna do marijuana, you should do it in a tea or in an edible or something, and then there's different strands. I didn't even know that the difference between sativa and indica. I didn't know sativa was an upper and indica was a downer, and then they got the hybrid where the both of them are together. But then you got to be careful also too going to these dispensaries, because who you're purchasing your products from as well. But I love plant medicine, and you actually helped introduce me, along with a couple of other people, what plant medicine really was and how it could be beneficial. And to be honest with you, when I did try the mushrooms, my first experience, my husband can tell you, it was crazy. But and you and I talked about that. My first experience, and I was seeing geometric signs and hearts everywhere, and stuff. My dog was growing, and stuff was coming through the window, and you're like, Queen, you should have took too much. But I'm glad I experienced that. But I was having, even though I'm a certified healer, I was having back pains for sitting for long periods of time and driving long periods of time. But that mushroom took the pain out my back. Like these plant medicines can take pain from your body, help your body heal, teaches your body how to heal itself, because we're all healers. We just forget how to heal.
Yes. There's a man who created a retreat space called Arrhythmia. And when he tells his story, he was just a rotten human being. He was just a mean, not care about anybody. And he got introduced to plant medicine and opened his heart in such a way where he wanted to help people. He changed completely, did a complete 180, and created this retreat center called Arrhythmia. You have places like Brazil who are giving some of the ex-convicts plant medicine, and they are going back and apologizing to the people and the families who they've hurt.
Wow, that's big.
So this is on a very deep spiritual level, and it's understandable why the powers that be don't want this really out there like that. I have a friend in particular who I met in Dr. Sebi's village, and he had severe back pain for years.
So you actually met Dr. Sebi?
No, I planned to go there when he was alive, but he died before I got there.
Oh wow! But still, he went to his village, Queen. So that's a gift right there.
I met some of his children.
Wow.
Yeah, but I
met his
unfortunately
children
I did not
in
get
New York.
Okay.
I met some of his children at an event in New York, and they were amazing. But go ahead. I apologize for interrupting.
No, it's cool. No, I met some of his children. I feel like Dr. Sebi's spirit was guiding me when I was there, because I had asked his spirit to guide me, because I kind of went out on a limb to the jungle by myself, and I was just like, "Hi, Dr. Sebi, left eye, can y'all guide me?"
Right, I know that's right.
And I felt like they really guided me, like the whole time. The experience that I had was so beautiful and spiritual. And this is before I even got into any kind of plant psychedelic medicine. I wasn't even into any of that. I was just learning about the physical healing of plants.
Okay.
And my experience was so amazing. And I met some beautiful spirited people. This one friend in particular, he was younger than me and he had severe back pain for years. I mean, his story went on for years. They told him they needed to remove one of his teeth to get, I mean, he went all across the world looking for help for this back pain and kept getting worse and worse and worse. Wow. He met Dr. Sebi and knew Dr. Sebi personally. So some of the people I met got to tell me stories about Dr. Sebi because he transitioned before I got to the village. And he was saying that Dr. Sebi gave him these psychedelic mushrooms and told him to take it and told him the pain he's experiencing is in his mind. So he's like, oh, he took the mushrooms.
Everything's emotional.
And it went away for over a year, the pain that he's been experiencing every day. And so that same friend, it put him on a quest to figure out what the hell was going on with his body. And he ended up finding this Caucasian doctor who wrote a book named Johnny Sarno. And he writes a book, I think it's called TMS, the book, where he talks about a condition called TMS. Forgot what the acronym stands for. But according to this doctor, many people get misdiagnosed with different ailments when it's subconscious anger in the brain that has not been released. So the body, to take the mind off of the anger, the body will send signals of pain to different parts of the body. The brain will send different.
It'll attack the chakra. Yeah. Yeah.
And so a lot of people, they're diagnosed with MS, arthritis, all kind of ailments that they possibly may not actually have. It may just be needing to release these things. And my friend, he said he took the mushrooms and he said he was high for like 8 hours. He said, but he saw all the things, and it's like things he didn't even know that bothered him, that affected him, things he forgot.
It didn't matter anymore.
And he said he laughed, he cried, he was like, ah. But he said when it was finished, he felt so much better. And I was like, that's amazing.
It makes you tap into your truth.
Yeah.
Too. And it's natural. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's and I do know in my studies that cancer is anger. Cancer comes from anger. So guys get mad at people, you need to release that stuff because whatever happened you can't change it. It already happened. So keep it moving, instead of holding on to that anger.
Well, something interesting. Dr. Africa used to say that sugar and sweet craving is associated with love. He used to say that it's associated with wanting to receive love or inability to give it. So you'll see a lot of people, right? And even as a woman, when we get around the monthly, a lot of times we start craving all these sweets and we want affection. And it's, and we're like, Dad, I don't usually eat chocolates and this and that, but
and it's a high.
Yeah. It gives you that euphoric state for a short period of time. See, that's the thing. Things that are natural from nature, like plant medicines, will put you in a more euphoric state and keep you on an elevated state, especially if you take it under proper guidance, you take a proper dosage, and if you integrate properly. Some people don't do integration at the end. And they need to do integration to figure out what the hell just happened or to sort it out in their mind. That's a part of the healing process.
Right.
The stuff that is that's not directly from nature or that man or humanity has tampered with, it gives you the illusion of a euphoric state, and then it brings you down like a drug would.
Okay.
So like crack, for example, or heroin would give you the illusion of something else, but when you get off of it, you go back into that depression and then you want it more. Right. Plant medicine taken properly does not do that. From my experience and from what I've known and seen and studied, it does not do that. When taken properly, when integrated, all of that.
You're right.
It's not going to do that. It's going to help you. Self-disclosure, I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've been through a lot of things. I've been through physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. And I'm someone who I'm realizing as I get older, I'm super stubborn. And those things kept me emotionally locked, emotionally immature. When I came to the plant medicines, I came to it when I was at a place where I was just like, I don't know what else I can do. I'm desperate for healing because I don't know what else to do with myself.
Right.
I'm in such a state where everything seems good on the outside, but on the inside, I'm in so much emotional turmoil. I'm in so much self-hatred. I'm sitting in so much negativity. And then I'm like, okay, I'm trying to eat right. And I notice that changes my mood somewhat. But then I have these periods where I go and binge eat and I go back to the junk food. What's going on with me is something inside of me. And
it's
so
depression,
exactly. And what I realized, that's the beautiful thing about plants and nature, is there's levels to its healing. There's plants that heal the physical body. There's plants that heal the spiritual body. There's plants that help the mental, the emotional, everything we have, everything we need is in nature. And Revelations, I'm not a religious person, but I do respect different religions and spiritual paradigms and different things like that. And one thing that Revelation says in the Bible, it says the nation shall be healed by the leaves. The leaves to me are the herbs. These are things that already are here all around us to help us heal from whatever we're going through. We just have to know how to use them and go to them and respect them. Respect them. Like the marijuana, to me, to get up, wake and bake, go to sleep, wake and bake, you're not paying any homage or respect to the plant itself. You're overusing it. To me, that's disrespectful to that plant, because that plant, it's being overused and being overused for one thing, just smoking it. What about all the other things? You can get rid of asthma with marijuana. You can get rid of bronchitis permanently with marijuana. But
in the 1500s, if you didn't grow marijuana in the 1500s, you were jailed.
Really?
You were in prison. Yeah. In the 1500s, if you did not grow marijuana, do y'all research. If you did not grow marijuana on your property, you were imprisoned, honey.
Wow.
Because marijuana, you know, you can use this for topical remedies, as well as internal. Marijuana is the flower. Is one of the plant medicines that are help heal your body.
Right. And even hemp comes from marijuana. CBD comes from marijuana. All of that comes from that same plant. There's so many healing factors that are being that it's being ignored. People are just chasing a high because, see, to me, I had this one medicine man that I sat with, and he wrote a book, Sergey Baranov, really cool guy in Peru. He has a few books, and he was talking about his experience because he came from being in a cult. I was trying to actually plan a trip to bring people out there to sit with him with the medicine, because his medicine is amazing. Being in a cult, being addicted to drugs, different things that he went through in his life. And one thing that I realized in reading that book is that a lot of times when people are chasing a high, they're trying to elevate their spirit, but they don't know how to. So they're turning to things that'll give them that high, because they don't know how to elevate their spirit. And with all the distractions, with all the things that are going on in the world, it is very difficult to come back sometimes for a lot of people to balance, especially if you don't have that blueprint set for you ahead, or you've never known anyone who is able to balance a lot of their issues when they've dealt with severe issues. If you've only known people who responded to things in a toxic manner, how do you learn how to, not do that?
Right.
It's a lot.
So you're
it's
teaching the body how to relearn where it comes from.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Queen, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to say, you have a lot of different things that you'll hear in the plant world, in the vegan world, in the medicine world. You have people who will look the part and seem very legitimate that I've run into, and who are full of crap, or who have their own agendas going on. You have people who would tell you, oh, if this is an alkaline, it's not good, and da 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 da.
Mhm.
A lot of hybrid things that we eat on a daily basis, that are around us on a daily basis, have been tampered with,
Mhm. Mhm. Do
unfortunately.
your research. Do your research, community. Do your research. It's very, very, very important. Anything, even
Absolutely.
what we're talking about, do your research.
And
I
just because
encourage
something
people
is
to
not
do that.
alkaline doesn't mean it
Mhm.
doesn't have any healing or alkaline under a list, because the list is actually a guide.
Right. Right.
It's not only what's limited on that list, it's a guide.
Mhm.
The work is for you to do it for yourself.
Got to do the work.
And
So
the
let
work
me
is for
ask
you
you
to
this
test
real
the
quick.
pH balances and stuff.
Let me
Yes.
ask you this before I forget. So someone um around my age, in their 50s or their 40s or even their 30s, and they want to start a new way of living, because the new year is coming soon. I'm going to have you come back
Okay. Yeah.
probably in December, right before the new year, so people can get their bodies ready for the new year, because
Oh, yeah.
2022 is going to be off the Richter scale. People, do not play with
Oh,
this in this
yes.
conscious
I'm
community.
excited about
It's
2020. I
I
got so many
can't
good things coming. Oh my
wait
God.
for 2022. You guys think that 2019 and 2020 and 2021 was a challenge? No, this is when you are going to be really reborn and really tap into the true person you came here on this earth to be. So
Uh-huh.
I'm definitely going to have you come back. So someone that wants to get on that route and heal themselves and enjoy themselves, because there's diets here or ways of trying to get us to eat a certain way and we don't like it and we're still miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say? I'm coming to you, Queen. I'm saying, Queen, I want to start a new way of living. I want to live longer. What do you suggest? And then we're going to tap, and then we're going to sign off after you say this.
But first, I would find out what your goals are.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell you to start slow. Don't try to do it all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if your goal is to become plant-based, I would say eliminate one meat every few weeks or so, or every couple of months or so. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if the pork is the easiest thing for you to eliminate, take that out your diet first.
Mm-hmm.
Start taking a couple of some herbs, increasing your water intake, your fresh
Mm-hmm.
fruit, fresh vegetable intake, raw
Okay.
fruit, raw vegetable intake.
Mm-hmm.
I would say start there. Funny story, real quick story. When I first went plant-based, well, not when I first went plant-based, I was actually plant-based in my mother's womb. I didn't allow my mother to
Wow.
eat meat, except fish. That's
Okay.
the funny thing. Then I
Uh-huh.
decided I'm going to be pescatarian. I went cold turkey on my 16th birthday. Then I went
Mm-hmm.
back to meat, right? Then I went to a Queen of Food event in 2012. And these sisters were so beautiful and they were all vegan and they was bad. And I'm like, I want to be like these sisters here.
Right.
And she did all these presentations. I never actually met, I seen Queen of Four. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with Queen of Four, but I did go to her
Uh-huh.
event and the presentation was amazing. Everything that they presented. And it inspired me. Well, I said, I'm gonna become vegan, but I didn't do my research.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sick at the time. Because I've had health ailments myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at that time I had hyperthyroidism, I had diabetes, I had some stuff going on. And I decided to go vegan cold turkey. The first 2 weeks of going vegan, the doctor said, all of your levels bounce back to normal. We don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it.
2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do my research in food though. So I kept making the same dishes over and over and over and over. The body don't want to eat the same shit over and over.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh.
body's like, well, you got to mix it up. And
Show me some
so at that
variety.
time,
Yeah.
right. And at that time I was staying at one of my siblings' homes in the housing project. So, you
Mm-hmm.
smell fried chicken. I kept smelling fried chicken and I gave in after 6 months.
Right.
My first time,
Fried
because I didn't do
chicken,
my research
child.
and I
Who
didn't
can
prepare
turn down
adequately
fried
like I
chicken?
needed to. See,
Right.
but it happens, you know what I mean? But as long as you keep working on the path,
Mm-hmm.
increasing raw fruits and raw vegetables on a
Mm-hmm.
consistent basis will make a dramatic difference in how you take in food, what
Mm-hmm.
you crave,
Mm-hmm.
and how your body feels and your bowel movement, all of that.
Right.
Always start to me, with increasing the fresh fruit,
Mm-hmm.
the raw vegetables, and the water.
I
One of
noticed when I stopped eating red meat, beef and pork, that I
uh-huh.
was sleeping better. because
Oh,
I
see
had
that?
insomnia.
Yeah.
And I loved pork. I love from the rooter to the tutor, honey, because I was making pig ears, pig tails, pig feet, chitlins. I love bacon. I love pork. And I tried a couple of times to like eat a piece, and the taste tastes weird. It didn't taste the same because I had been not eating it for so long, you
Yeah.
know. And I do still miss it once in a blue moon, but I do just do poultry and seafood. And
Yeah.
eventually, I do plan to go vegan based. I do want to do. My daughter, our youngest daughter, is a vegan, and
Yeah.
Jules, and her weight and everything changed. Her
Yes.
skin, her texture, her
Yeah.
hair, everything changed when she stopped eating meat.
Yeah. Because and you know what it is? It's not so much that meat is absolutely horrible. It's meat in this country.
Right,
Because if you eat
right.
meat in another country,
It won't
if it's
be
a
that
country that don't
way.
do that processing and all that junk, you eat meat in Peru or something like that,
Or
completely
Jamaica, you
different.
go, yep, the livestock there, yep,
I've had my
yep.
moments where I've dipped and dabbed back into meat over the years that I've been vegan, and I felt the
Mm-hmm,
difference.
mm-hmm,
Spasms, murderous dreams. I'm like,
mm-hmm,
what the hell?
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
gotta
because
detox.
everything is energy. Everything is energy. And how
Yeah.
they slaughtered those animals, you're
Mm-hmm.
taking that energy in your body. And then you want to know
Absolutely.
why you're angry or why you
Mm-hmm.
feel a certain way, why you can't sleep, or why you're experiencing this, why you're experiencing that. And those chemicals that they feed these poor animals, it also
Mm-hmm.
blocks your third eye too. It calcifies your third eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. And that's another reason why I wanted to stop eating, poultry and seafood. I love crabs. I mean, they say crabs is almost as toxic as pork,
Oh
so
gosh.
yeah, so
Well,
just do your research.
I would say
Go ahead.
also in being an early childhood teacher,
Mm-hmm.
some of the snacks I see people give babies and little kids, I am mortified, but I can't say anything. But
Mm-hmm.
also I understand the mentality. The parent is like, I want to
The
make sure my
parents
baby's
don't know.
full. They want to make sure their baby has food. And that aspect, they're trying to do the right thing. It's just
Mm-hmm.
they're just kind of misguided in terms of what to
Mm-hmm.
give a child. And especially if you have a hyper child,
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
the sugar, all the salt, all the
Mm-hmm.
processed food
Stop buying
will
y'all
make their
children's
behaviors worse.
snacks from the dollar store. Right.
Yes.
Read the
And
labels.
we can't afford it. You know what I mean? It's probably like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this is what I could afford. I understand. But there's other things, there's alternatives that are affordable that are the same price, that's not as much chemicals and toxicity. And a
Okay.
lot of times if you have a child with autism,
Mm-hmm.
ADHD, ADD, or certain conditions, and you give them these things and you're wondering why they're bouncing off the walls, why they
Mm-hmm.
can't pay attention, look at what's in it.
Their
Look at the
diet.
red number 40, the yellow number
Mm-hmm.
5. Look at those
Mm-hmm.
things that trigger ADHD, that trigger
Mm-hmm.
these different ailments. I just wanted to also mention, I wrote down just to give people a couple of good herbs to use during this
Mm-hmm.
time and some foods. One of the best foods that people can eat right now with everything going on is grapefruits.
Yeah, I heard grapefruit is good. Grapefruit juice too. Yeah.
It may be sour, it may not be the best pleasing to a lot of people's taste buds, but grapefruits naturally has, I forgot what it's called in it. It's something that's naturally inside of a grapefruit that combats these, that combats, and it's rich in vitamin A, it's rich in antioxidants,
It
it's
burns
citrusy,
fat
so it's
too.
also going to help get some mucus out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some herbs that you guys may want to reach out and get that are good for the overall immunity: astragalus, moringa, chickweed, elderberry. A lot of people are into elderberry, but people don't talk about elderflower.
Mm-hmm.
Elderflower is just as good as elderberry.
Okay.
It's part
I
of the
didn't know
same
that.
plant. And elderberry and elderflower stops bees from progressing in their tracks. That's why
Okay.
it's important to take those things in. Olive leaves, oregano. If you get pure oregano oil,
Mm-hmm.
it helps with the immunity, but it is very strong, like clove oil. So you have to, those type of oils, you have to combine it with a carrier oil so it can be more easier for you to take in. Otherwise, you can burn your whole mouth and everything messing with those oils. So you want
Okay.
to combine it with a carrier oil like olive oil or something like that. But those are good. Some herbs that are good for respiratory, that are even safe for children, Malayan. If your child has a cough, I actually started making children's herbs as well. So I have herbs that I make to put in a baby's bath if a baby has a fever, to help draw the fever out. I have herbs that's for children, children's respiratory. I started making actually herbal teas.
Wow.
So I have my little tea bags. So I'll put like a little blend in there, and it'll help the children. Make sure
that you also post that in the description, and then in my family, and not my family, in the Facebook spiritual group, I want you to post your products in there as well.
Okay, we'll do. Yeah, I mean, wild cherry bark, certain things are good to help get rid of these coughs. These because there's some people who don't have, what's going on, but they have a bad cough. I keep hearing it. Wild cherry bark. Shout out to Queen Cup Tarot, because she sells red hajari. She sells incense. So incense are another thing that's a whole nother level, just like the plants. She sells incense that she gets imported from different parts of Africa, and some of them are edible, so you can actually eat these incense.
Really?
Yeah, you can burn them, you can eat them, everything. They're for different things going on. So
some of these incense are toxic.
Yeah. See, the incense that we see nowadays, they're not real pure incense. And I actually learned that from Acacia.
Stop buying y'all incense from the liquor store, y'all.
No, that's right.
Yeah. Do your research when you purchase these incense.
Yeah. Yes. Because the thing is, real true incense are supposed to heal you just by the scent of it, certain ways. Just the scent of it can trigger something within your DNA.
Like I sell Moldavite incense on my website.
Oh, see, I gotta get some of that from.
And saying Moldavite is a meteor that crashed to the earth, as you know. So I sell that.
I've been drawn to Moldavite lately, and I don't know why. Because I'm not into
you can't find Moldavite anywhere, and when you find it's expensive because the mines are closed.
Really?
The mines were during the pandemic. Yeah, I don't know if they're open now, but I'm planning on, when they do open, I'm definitely taking a trip.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm definitely taking a trip. I want to say something real quick.
Sure.
Tanya said, Queen Tanya said that she used Dr. Sibby's powder for teeth. Jason Bauman, who's a longtime friend of mine, says, "Where can you get the mushrooms at?" Jason, I need some. Jason, we will talk. You know how to reach me, Jason.
I can't put that on the video.
I know you can't. Okay, but we're gonna sign off shortly, Queen. We've been on here for almost an hour and a half. Is there anything that you want to say before you leave, and share with the community?
I just want to say thank you for everyone who took their time to listen to me. Thank you, Dawn, for giving me this platform. I really, really appreciate it from my soul, and from my spirit. I thank you for everyone who supports and who is interested, because people with like minds are coming together during these times right now. And it's important that we link with each other, because the things that are going to happen and unfold in the years to come, we're going to need each other. So everything is coming back full circle. We're getting back into the natural way of things, the ancient way of things, and so forth. The things that were good, hopefully, not negative,
And but I just wanted to numerology reports too. So
guys, yeah, that's what I wanted to mention really quickly.
Yes.
So I do numerology readings. I dive heavily into astrology depending on the reading and what I'm being compelled to tell the person. But the numerology is very important, even to the health. For example, and you can hit me up if you want a numerology reading. Just hit me up and I'll give you like the different readings that I do, the prices, and we can set up time. But something as simple as people who are born under a number 2 vibration, or who have number 2 life path, or number 2 certain places, they tend to have issues with their digestive tract. I also find a lot of people born under the 2 vibration have sinus issues, like the number 6s. A lot of people who are born in the number 6 vibration tend to have sinus and upper respiratory congestion.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that, because I've been having sinus issues. I would never say it.
You never know. You never know. Like a lot of number 1s tend to have eyesight issues. They tend to have to take care of their eyes. Number 4s and 8 are kind of interesting because they tend to have diagnosis that's hard to put a finger on.
Okay.
They're the type of people that'll go to a doctor and they really don't know what they have, and they'll just give them an antibiotic because they don't know, they can't figure out. That's why they have to just take care of their health overall.
Right.
Number 5 people tend to have issues with exhaustion. I find that 5 and 4s tend to have issues with the lungs because they're air numbers. Yeah, they're air numbers.
Okay.
Number 9s tend to have, I find blood pressure issues, as well as the number 3s. They tend to have low blood pressure issues.
Okay.
Number 9s.
And you can help people because some people wouldn't know what these numbers you're calling. Some people don't know what number they are. Some people would. So you're able to help people tap into that so they know what number they are, correct?
Yes. And in a way, we're all the numbers, but just certain numbers play more in a person's life than others. But we all are connected to every single number.
Right. Okay.
And it'll give insight to health ailments, into the personality, into sometimes there's spiritual things. Like the last reading I recently did for someone, this person was under a 2 vibration, and I started just channeling things to tell him about the ancestry and how he should go to the water and this and that. And that's a water number. He's born under a water number. So, you know, it's interesting. 7 is a water number too, because I know you're the 25th, water, connected with water, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually at 7/7 on July 25th. So yeah. Well, we definitely need to talk, Queen. I'm definitely going to get a reading soon. A Way of Life, Peace Queen, thank you for joining us. A Way of Life, she's an astrologist. So I'm honored that she tapped into us. I think you see, she's been on my show before too, on my YouTube channel.
I think I saw her when she came on your show.
We're collaborating together because we're going to be doing past life regression, and she's going to be doing astrology reading too. So I'm looking forward to working with this phenomenal queen as well. Her name is Keisha, Queen Keisha. But well, thank you, Queen, so much for enlightening my community. Is there anything else you want to say before you sign off?
No, just thank you. Thank you all. And just love yourself. Love on yourself. This is Libra season. Libra's ruled by the planet Venus. It's a time to self-reflect and to self-love right now. Get on your pretty girl, your pretty guy, handsome guy stuff. You know what I mean? And really turn inward right now during this month and love on yourself. Libra's about bringing balance. That's why it's the symbol of the scales.
Right.
We have to balance right now things that are out of balance in our lives. So this is a very good pivotal time. Retrogrades, as crazy as they are for a lot of people, they're not always bad. Those are learning moments. Those are learning times. Those are times that teach us the best. Our toughest times teach us the biggest lessons that we need to fulfill our soul contracts and to do whatever we're here to do this time. So it's a blessing, even though it's maybe painful or annoying or crazy, it's a blessing.
Yeah, because retrogrades, especially Mercury retrogrades, will bring exes come knocking on your door or calling you, but it also gives you a chance to revise, review, revisit, you know, use that RE as something to redo and do it better the next time.
Absolutely.
You know, I know a few of my clients, even though this retrograde this is the roughest retrograde I've ever had, Mercury retrograde. But I've also had some huge blessings come along. And a few of my clients have actually told me, one client won something like, you see something like almost $30,000 during this retrograde.
Wow.
Yeah.
See that? I hope I'm next.
Yeah. I've had other clients manifest their true intentions. So even though we talk about this retrograde, use it as a lesson to learn, you know,
Yes.
and it ends on the 18th, right? Or the 17th, I think. When is
I believe the 18th. But here's the thing. You said Saturn is in retrograde. Saturn kicks people's behind.
what?
Saturn is a tough
Because
planet.
we had Saturn,
Ooh.
Jupiter, and Mercury.
See,
We had like, and I think Venus too. We had like 4 planets in retrograde.
lot of mercy. But you know, Saturn, as tough as it is, Saturn teaches you those tough lessons. And Saturn and Jupiter work together because Jupiter rewards people.
Wow.
So when you go through the struggle with Saturn, you're preparing for the reward of Jupiter if you handle your stuff properly the way it's needed. Because Jupiter wants to give rewards, but Jupiter and Saturn and all the planets, they coexist and work together. So Saturn might be like, you want to give this reward to who? But they ain't ready for that. Let me put them through a couple of more tests and see if they're ready to receive that reward. And then Jupiter comes into play when you pass the test. So all of these things are tests. I always make the analogy of Super Mario Brothers. You know how you defeat it, you get to the end and you go down that tunnel and then you got a whole nother world. You got to defeat the beast there. You like, come on, now, I just finished this.
That
I thought I was
rabbit
done.
hole, child.
The next
That
battle
rabbit
after,
hole.
that's how it is. You go
Yeah,
through
you gotta be careful,
and then you go
guys,
to the
getting
next
caught up in
round.
other people's stuff. You know,
Uh-huh.
you gotta get caught. Don't get involved in other people's business because you go down that rabbit hole, and it might be that rabbit hole of no mother freaking return. I'm telling you, that rabbit hole during these
Exactly.
retrogrades, I was like,
Oh man.
okay, it's time about my business. Mind your business, y'all. Focus on your inner self. You come number one. You number one. I don't care who you are. You a wife, a husband, son, daughter. You always come first. Number one. If you focus on healing and loving yourself first, then your children or your husband, your spouse come, and then everybody else after that. But you should always become number one. And we always have the challenge of putting ourselves last all the time.
Yes.
How are we gonna help somebody if we ain't taking care of this first?
That's true. And I'm learning that. I've been learning that lesson for the last few months hard. My spirit guides, my ancestors have been on my behind about that. Like, oh, but you got this to do and you got this to do, you know, and I'm trying and I'm trucking and I'm like, okay, I'm fighting with it. But you know, it's over. It never stops. You know what I mean? It's gonna keep going. And that's the beautiful thing of it. You have the beautiful moments and you have the rough moments and you have the beautiful moments. And the more you make it through the rough moments, the more beautiful moments come through. You know, it's a weird balance, but it makes sense at the end. It makes sense at the end. There's things that I've gone through in childhood or in my younger adult years that I would probably never put myself through now or be it now.
It's called growing up. It's called maturity.
Right. But I had to go through those things. And sometimes,
but you have to understand that, and I apologize for cutting you off, Queen, is that we have a different body every 7 years. Hair, skin, organs, the whole 9. So what happened to you 14 years ago or 10 years ago or from the childhood really didn't happen because it's a total different body. And that's what helped me deal with my childhood traumas. That's what helped me deal with my abusive marriage in the past. I definitely don't have one now because I would not tolerate that. My husband.
Nah, I know you don't have one now. Y'all just seem too lovey-dovey. Y'all like
right. Yeah, you know how we think of the things of my husband and I. But
I love it.
And yes, we do have our ups and downs. Nobody's perfect. We're still learning and loving each other, learning from one another. But we have to understand is that we come first, and what happened to us 7 or 10 years ago no longer should affect us in this life. There's just mental scars that you're holding on that needs healing. And healing is the most sexiest thing you can do. It is the most sexiest thing you can do, honey.
Yeah.
Okay? Learn to love yourself. Shoot, I want to keep this PG because it's kids, but learn to love yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually and soully. That's what this thing is about. That's why we
Mhm.
came here. We came
Right.
here how to learn to really love. And with love, we can heal
Mm.
this earth. We can heal the spiritual realm because this is the lowest spiritual realm of all spiritual realms. You don't go any lower than this. So this is where the classroom is.
Mm.
This is where the test is. So do
This
the
is a
work.
classroom. That's very
Contact
true.
my queen, Ashima, so she can tell you how to get on point and get your life in the right direction you always wanted to be so you can attract the right energy into your life and
Yeah.
experience.
Oh yeah. And I will say, even with the numerology readings, a lot of times people leave the readings, even the 30-minute readings. They're like, you gave me a whole year worth of information. This
Mhm.
changed my life. I've had people who it inspired them to leave toxic relationships. And I didn't even go
Mhm.
as deep into relationships, but whatever information they that was channeled through me was
Right.
helpful for them. You know,
Mhm.
people sometimes I've had people even cry sometimes,
Mhm.
you know. But
Cleansing.
I'm big on confidentiality
Mhm.
and maintaining their privacy.
Good.
That's why
Yeah,
you
I'm
will
like
see a
that
whole bunch
too.
of things where people like once in a while you'll see somebody make a post
Mhm.
about like, hey, I had this amazing reading or whatever. I got this from Asma, but you won't see like I don't put people's, because
Yeah.
out of respect for
Me
them and out of
neither.
respect for myself and
Right.
I would want a level of confidentiality for
Right.
myself. Like there's people who I won't work with because I know they can't maintain no confidentiality.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I
I,
don't play that. I have my
yeah.
clients sign a waiver, a release, and I mean a
Mm,
release form, and I let them know what we discuss
uh-huh.
is between us, is nobody else's business. But
Yes.
some people just like to
I like
do
that.
this, and no, I'm not like that.
Mm,
So I'm
yeah.
glad that you tapped into that information as well. Well, Queen, we've
Yeah.
been on for like an hour and a half, and we still got people
Ah,
watching.
we always bonded.
I know, because I just love your energy, and
Thank
I'm an
you.
energy reader. So if I don't like someone's energy, I won't connect with them. I'll just like, your energy
Yes,
ain't for me right
I
now.
admit
I
it.
got some work to do. So I want to thank you so much, everyone. I want to thank
Thank
you for
you.
tuning in. And please check out this Phenomenal Queen's website. Guys, it's going to be you're going to see a lot more of me. I'm going to be bringing more people on. Ashma is going to be coming back in December to get you guys ready and on point for the new year. If
Oh
if you guys
yeah.
would like to come onto the show, contact me at Queen Dawn Spirit, queendawnspirit.com on the contact form, or you can email me at dawnspiritk@gmail.com. Check out my YouTube channel, Queen Dawn Spirit. Guys, I want to thank you so much. What is Tanya said, hey. And I want to say thank you to Tanya, Keisha, Noni, Sylvia, Jason, Beverly. If I forgot someone, don't think that you're not forgotten, because I haven't really forgotten you. I'm just scrolling through the chat real quick. I'm sending you all loving, healing, Reiki love and unlimited blessings to you guys. And may you have a phenomenal remaining weekend. Ashma, did you want to say anything before we sign out?
No, thank you so much for everything. I got to send
Okay,
you my information and post in the group, but thank
definitely
you.
do that. Post all your information in the Facebook group too. And
Okay.
guys, if you haven't already subscribed, tap down below right there. Tap down below
Yes.
there and subscribe and share this video. Share it. It's caring, so go into the YouTube universe because it can help many other people, especially people that have children that have autism, or people that have diabetes or herpes or STDs or hair loss or anything, because this is the queen you want to connect with. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I love you. Peace out, Dawn Spirit here. Ciao. Hold on, Queen.